Hi guys, it's Heather and I'm here with my, oh my goodness, I didn't look it up. I think it's week 28 post-op duodenal switch update. I'm gonna go through my stats real quick and then I'm gonna drive just back to work. Mostly I'll be sitting at stoplights. So I had lap band removal, revision to duodenal switch, and a gallbladder removal on November 9th, 2016 with Dr. Bermudez at Rex Bariatrics in Raleigh, North Carolina. My high weight was, and it is today May 25th, 2017. It's a Thursday, my usual weigh-in days. My high weight was 304 pounds. My surgery weight was 283.2 pounds. My weight last week was 201.2 pounds. And my weight today was 200.2 pounds for a 1 pound loss this week. 83 pounds since surgery and 103.8 pounds for the whole thing. I have seen Wonderland at least twice in the past week, for at least a day each time. But it's, usual sort of bounce around, but with a general trend to lower. I do weigh every day. It doesn't usually affect me mentally, but this week with the Wonderland, not Wonderland, Wonderland, not Wonderland, that's been a little maddening, not staying there. I don't think I'm doing anything weird about that. No, I don't think it's really affecting me, making me want to eat or do any of those coping behaviors, but it is kind of frustrating. So let's just go ahead and talk here. I just picked up some lunch. It's from Burger 21. It's one of my favorite burger places close to work where I just get a burger without a bun. I got their OMG burger comes with bacon and cheese, and I get it without a bun and with mayo, and they have chipotle mayo on their little condiment bar that I get a couple of things and take back with me. Anyway, so what have I been doing this week? I have started exercising. On Monday evening, I did the first day of the first week of Couch 5K. I don't know that I'm quite really jogging yet, but for Couch 5K for the first week, I think it's walk for 90 seconds and then jog for 60 seconds it's 30 minutes, but there's a 5-minute warm-up and a 5-minute cool down. So for 20 minutes, you're alternating that. My jogging is really more like really fast walking right now. But it was good and it was fine. And then on Tuesday, I don't know if I've mentioned before, my office, they do yoga, and it has been since I started there just in the morning, but it starts at 8 o'clock, and I can't drop my daughter off at school until 8 o'clock, and so there's no way that I can make it to work by 8 o'clock. So they recently started offering it at lunch once a week, at lunchtime, so noon, 12 to 12:45, and so I did that on Tuesday, and I did way better than I expected. My balance was way better than I expected. I couldn't keep up entirely. There were people there who'd been doing it for a long time, and but there were also people who were relatively new, and she gave us lots of modifications and stuff that we could do, and I thought I did really well. And then so that was on Tuesday, and then yesterday when I woke up, I was so sore, and today I'm still a little bit sore, raising my arms. I feel it. My abs, I feel it in weird places. I have a feeling that my abs are probably separated from the pregnancies, carrying two babies, not at the same time, two babies that were both over 10 pounds. My daughter was 10 pounds 2 ounces, and my son was 11 pounds 2 ounces. So I feel like my abs are not where they're supposed to be, because I'm getting weird areas where they hurt right now. But I plan to go back. I feel like that's the way that the only way not to be sore is to keep doing it, right? So tonight, if all goes well, I will have another couch to 5K session for the week. I was supposed to do it last night, but I was still so sore and work blew up, so I didn't do anything last night. But I think I'm trying to get on track with the exercise. So that is cool. Let's see. One thing, I have been a little less fastidious about tracking my food in MyFitnessPal. I've been eating a little more chocolate. I haven't. I'm okay through breakfast and lunch, and I'll track all that and most of my snacks. If I grab a couple of almonds that work provides, I don't always track those. As I go by the dispenser, I'll grab a couple and have a little, eat a little bit, and those don't get tracked. But dinner and onward, I'm not really tracking usually. So I feel like just to make sure that I'm hitting enough protein and not getting too many carbs. I still don't feel like I need to be super fastidious about weighing everything, but I need to track what I've eaten and an estimate of how much, just to make sure that I'm getting what I need. So I'm trying to be better about that. And I probably should track the chocolate that I eat. It's usually very dark chocolate, so it doesn't have very much sugar, and I don't eat a lot at a time. And that's, even before, if it was good dark chocolate, I would eat like a piece and be okay. If I tried to eat Hershey's or Reese's, or if I had like a bag of fun size stuff, I would eat a lot. I would eat 4 or 5 pieces at a time, and do that a couple times a day if it was right available. So I'm still doing okay, but I'm not sure that I'm not going over on my carbs. Which, if I'm still losing, it's okay, but I'd like to know that I'm getting enough protein mostly. I don't want to be too strict on carbs right now if everything else is okay. If I'm not having gastrointestinal issues because of it, if I'm not, gaining weight, if my carbs are coming from relatively good sources, nuts and yogurt and some vegetables, that's okay. But if I'm eating a lot of sugar or too much chocolate, which mostly I eat dark chocolate that doesn't have a lot of sugar, but it has real sugar in it. There is the Lily's that has stevia is kind of okay, but it's not my favorite, and I'd rather eat the real stuff. Anyway, so I feel like that's something I need to work on. Thanks everybody for your WLFSA videos. Because of those, I've started doing a little research on plastic surgery, because everybody has mentioned the corset trunkplasty, and that looks really interesting. Trying to see if there's anywhere in my area that does it. My parents actually live in Pennsylvania, but I don't think it's anywhere near the doctor that was at the WLFSA, where his clinic is in Pennsylvania. But that's interesting, and I think that might be my best option given my general shape, but I'm still a ways away from needing or being at a point where I can do those plastic surgery consults, because I want to at least be down to my original goal weight before I start even thinking about that, and be sort of comfortable with my weight and where I am, and not still losing, because that's kind of what you need to be when you get surgery. You need to sort of be stable, right? So anyway, thanks guys. And the other thing from those videos is I started watching some videos from Duc Vong. He's Vietnamese. He's a weight loss surgery doctor, and he had did a keynote speech at WLFSA, which I watched this morning, and another talk about how not to gain weight. And I'm not sure about, you know, all of his recommendations. You can't process 100 grams of protein, but my body's not going to process that much if I eat that much. So I think that's, I mean that's the thing, right? So I have to eat 100 grams for my body to process 50. So just, you know, rough measurements, right? So maybe that actually does apply to me, but the fact that I have to eat more of it to get the amount my body can process and needs, I think that's maybe the piece that's missing. And since there weren't a lot of DSers there, and I don't know that he does the DS, maybe that's a thing for him. But otherwise, he's super funny, and I really enjoyed his videos, and I'll maybe link a couple here on this video, the ones that I've watched. And so thanks guys for, you know, I wish I could have gone, but even though I didn't, I'm glad you guys did and shared that with us. And one other thing about sort of the emotional difficulties with having weight loss surgery. This past weekend, my husband was finishing a house project, and he did that, and I was with the kids most of the weekend. I took my daughter shopping with me while my son napped and all this stuff. Anyway, so he didn't really take care of the kids most of the weekend, but usually it's, you know, sort of switch back and forth, and usually he takes care of the kids while I do grocery shopping and that kind of thing. But he was doing a project, trying to finish it up, and it is finished, and it's beautiful. I'll have to, you know, post pictures. He was making a mudroom bench and storage for our stuff in our it's our laundry room / mudroom. It's the entry from the garage. Anyway, so on Sunday when he was done with that, I took him to the brewery, which did not have a food truck, or had a food truck so I dropped him off at the brewery. There's a park right behind the brewery. I took the kids over there and watched them while they played, because they had been mostly inside all weekend because we were, you know, taking care of house stuff, and he'd been, you know, busy, so we didn't really go do much as a family. But so I took them. It was near dark. It was like 5:30 probably when we got there. So I dropped him off. He had some beer, reward for a job well done, and I took the kids. And then when we came back, we were trying to figure out what we were going to do for dinner, and he's like, you pick where we're going to go. And I put out, because I couldn't pick, that's what he said, and I suggested a couple of places that were, you know, amenable to me and what I needed. And he's like, you know, I want to go to an Italian place. Can we go to like this Italian place or that Italian place? And both of them are like, you know, we live near a relatively small town. Both of them were near our town or in the town, and they were just pizza and pasta and gnocchi and garlic bread and stromboli and that kind of places. And he's like, but I know you could eat at super nice place downtown, and they would have lots of great things for you. So I thought these places would have good things for you too. But they don't. And I was just so angry that is what he wanted to do. So angry that, you know, I'd taken care of the kids, and I you know, dropped him off and let him have his beer, which, you know, I'm not drinking very much right now, so I didn't have anything. And I took them to the park, and I was so angry that he couldn't even let me have something that like would have something that I wanted to eat. Go to a place that would have something that I could eat on my plan. So angry that I very nearly dropped him and the kids off there and then left to go to, because I was driving, of course, and left to go to one of the places that I had mentioned, but I didn't, and I went with them. And I mean, I got chicken piccata, where I ate the chicken with some of the sauce and left all of the pasta. She's like, can you get a vegetables instead of the pasta? I'm like, dude, I don't want the vegetables instead of the pasta. In fact, what I really want is to eat the gnocchi that's on the menu. Stop asking questions for something that, okay, so she brings me a bunch of vegetables that I won't eat instead of a bunch of pasta that I won't eat that maybe the kids will eat instead of, because the kids are kids. And sometimes we get them, even from the kids menu, things that they say they want and then they will not eat it. So I'm like, well, at least it's another option for the children if they won't eat what they got. But I was so angry. And that, I was angry because food. I mean, I was able to eat there, but it was certainly not easy, and certainly tempted me more than most places, than the places that I suggested would have. The chicken was a little dry. I mean, there was enough of it. I was fine, satisfied, but it just made me angry. So, it's not easy. It's still not easy. I have a few places that, I know where I can go and what I can get there, and nothing else tempts me too much. If we go to a burger place, I might eat a French fry from my husband's plate, but that's it, and that's okay. But anyway, it might seem easy for me sometimes, but it's not all the time, and I think everybody has to deal with that. That's it for me today. 17 minutes is going to be another bear to upload. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.